Welcome to the White Lotus channel. Thanks for being here. Deck review. The Mix Slash Papercut. Slash played in a core Pauper tournament over the weekend. Did some testing with him prior to the tournament. I wasn't that familiar with Papercut. I mean, I'm certainly familiar with prison decks in general, which is what this deck is. Prison deck, slowing the opponent down, denying them resources, things like that. It's not a true prison deck in the sense that like Lantern Control or Ghostly Prison, things like that. But it's ultimately just attrition. And when we played it, I was like, wow, it's not bad at all against aggro decks and things like that. And he took it to the tournament, finished 12th with a 3-2 record. So I was like, you know what, let's take a look at it. And what if we change it a little bit from a core Pauper rule set, which is, I'm not going to go into it, the video's up there from before, but essentially no supplemental sets, no downshifts. The cards that you play have to be legal or printed at common when they were standard legal. That's ultimately the rule set. So in regular Pauper, we had to change around some cards. So he would have been forced to use something other than Cast Down, something other than Chainer's Edict. And in regular Pauper, we don't have that restriction. Let's take a look at it. 20 lands, mono black, 3 non-colored with Desert, 4 with Dig Site. Dig Site gets some work in too. But essentially what you're trying to do is, this is a very long, grindy, kind of hopeless, helpless experience if you're the opponent playing a particular style deck. Control is not going to have as much difficulty against this deck as aggro and mid-range variants. But essentially what you're trying to do is drag the game on for as long as you can. You're draining life from the opponent slowly, a little bit at a time, over multiple turns. It's not unusual for a game to go 13, 14, 15 turns. And you'll get, say, for example, Reckoner Raid in play on 1, Trespasser's Curse or multiple on 2 and 3, gaining life off Pristine Talisman, Dogged Pursuit, draining life, Ill-Gotten Inheritance, draining life while you're gaining life. And before you know it, you got plenty of removal like Cast Down, Chainer's Edict, Defile. I'm not sure if Defile is the card for this version. If we look at the curve on this, you've only got 4 1-drops in Reckoner Raid. You got 13 Swamps. I would like it to be more consistent, but with Bojuka Bog, Barren Moor, Desert, Dig Site, I'm not sure if Defile is the card for that slot. We ran it as it was. It was great when you had a lot of swamps in play, obviously. When you're kind of short on mana or just swamps in general, it can be a little iffy. But you've got heavy 2-drop slot, trying to just curve out. The perfect curve or the perfect draw would be, swamp into Reckoner Raid, turn 2 Trespasser's Curse or Lembas, hitting your land drops for Pristine Talisman, into your win conditions, which are your Dogged Pursuits and Ill-Gotten Inheritance, or a popped Crypt Rat for a lot. So yeah, it's a Crypt Rat deck in one sense, but really you're winning more off Dogged Pursuit and Ill-Gotten Inheritance. What I would say is what you're shooting to do is get the opponent down to 10 life. Your Ill-Gotten Inheritance, even though it's doing or draining them for 1 life per turn, when you pay 6, you're doing 4 damage off of it. So once they're down to 10 with 2 Ill-Gotten Inheritance in play, it drains for 2. You sack it, and then you sack it again to deal the final 8 damage. Sideboard is what it is. Tune it the way you want. Not going to spend a ton of time on it. Trying to save a little bit more commentary for the games because the games go so long. I don't even know how many I'm going to do. Maybe I might do 2. I'm not sure. But ultimately, if you like watching the opponent feeling kind of helpless, dragging out, bleeding out slowly while you stand there with your sardonic smile, then this is a deck that you would like to play. It's a little different. It's not going to be great against everything. I think Pauper does that too much, the players in the community. Looking for a deck that's just got game against everything, not going to happen in this format. You're going to have some matchups that just suck no matter what you're playing. But you know your meta, and if you want to try something a little different, you like grindy games and things going on and your opponent feeling helpless, Papercut is the deck to give a try. So we'll go ahead and get into some games and see what's going on. Match 1, Game 1. Unknown deck, but I do know the opponent. It's Kenny. I'll say this: he's a really nice guy. Really like playing against Kenny. Don't know what he's playing right now, but he's a terrific guy. I like him a lot. Maybe if I knew him even more, he was an asshole. I don't know, but right now I like him. Opening hand, 4 swamps. This is game 2, not game 1. Sorry. He is on a all that glitters build that is somewhat Bogle-ish, but more creatures, and it's just interesting build. So 4 swamps, we got some removal, win condition, draw a card and gain some life. Let's see what happens. As far as I know, I don't know what his deck is as a whole. I did not see any counter spells, any removal. If I wasn't sure about what he was doing, maybe I don't lead with or go with Limbus on 2. But I never saw Spell Pierce or anything else. So, but I would have considered it had I seen it. He cycles Spirited Companion. I could have led with Desert there, but again, with him, at least me thinking he has no removal, I'm gonna go ahead and slam Crypt Rats down and just try to hold it off. It was interesting too that he played Blighted Agent, which I thought was kind of decent tech. I think 2 that Call Gates runs that out of the sideboard sometimes in the main as an alternate win condition. But we'll take care of it with a rat. Could have held the rats and stuff, but with Chainer's Edict at sorcery speed, just taking care of it right now. Defile is good. When playing against he runs Saiba. So I wished at that point that Chainer's Edict, you almost need 2 removal spells because they try to flash it in. But pretty interesting build. He won game 1. We had some mana issues. I could have went ahead and as I was playing this game, old Raging Bull was watching as well. That is a punt on my part. I could wait for Saiba to target, then defile it, so that Saiba would not be a 1/2. That would have been optimal. He has built himself a Megatron, but we have an answer for that. Chainer's Edict it away. Scrying with the dig site, but Chainer's Edict is the play. Chainer's first, Bajuka Bog the yard, just in case they have some way to get things back, which we don't want. We're on turn 7. And we're not in too bad a shape, actually. But we're just going to be scrying, trying to find some. You're not really looking for creatures and things like that. You're just looking for the win con, things to stay alive, remove their creatures so they don't get too big, and it just slowly drain the opponent. So if you look at, that was cast down. We brought that up because I need cast down and Chainer's Edict. So you need 2 removal. But if you take a look at the life, it's 22 to 12, 22 to 11. And you just start slowly seeing things change. And there's no rush. Like, they're doing what, 3 damage? Desert will take out the Vigilance token. Scry the land at the bottom. It's 20 to 15. Another Trespasser's Curse. Would prefer it be ill-gotten, but that's all right. But the life totals, like, nothing's really quite happening, but yet here we go, right? Life totals begin to switch up a little bit. Yep. It's 20 to 15. Us. It's the way it works. The second ill-gotten inheritance is what makes all the difference in the world. Currently, they're only doing 3 damage a turn to us. Ill-gotten's going to cut that to just 1. And we can sack them both for 8 damage. Well, yeah, we'll speed that clock up a little bit with Reckon a Raid. I mean, your whole goal, we're at turn 13. Drag the game on. That's it. It's what you do. Attrition. And if that's the style of deck you like to play or doing something different, yeah, I'd certainly recommend giving it a run. But, you know, meta call. Take a look at a card. Sack ill-gotten inheritance on his turn for 4. And then another one again on ours. Let's go on to the second game. Game 3 against some type of All That Glitters. We're ahead on the clock too. Usually I'm behind, but we're ahead right now, which is good. It's not a bad opener. At the moment, we'd rather see 2 swamps. I don't even know. I can't remember if we even get the talisman in play. Yeah, double trespassers is it's okay. It's good against some other decks, but they can just get 1 creature down and try to play around that. Missing land drops, not good. Just holding off on the edict at the moment. Not the edict, sorry, on cast down. He tapped out. I was kind of trying to play around Saiba. And it's not that there's really pressure on, but for him to put pressure on us, he's got to be taking light damage, right? So it's like 22 to 10, and it doesn't even feel like we have done anything. But yet they're at 10. And now 8. Just such an interesting feel. Like really want to be hitting land drops. But we're missing them. Because if you can get your talisman into play, it just really, the spread value is sometimes a little difficult to overcome. Again, should have waited for him to target the creature, but now he's down to 4, All the glitters, hoping to dodge life. Yep, now he's down to 2. And we draw a Sign in Blood for the win, which is kind of old school classic, makes you feel good on the inside, right? That's good. But yeah, interesting deck. I like it. Do I like it for everything? No. But if you like the style, I think it's certainly worth to take it for a spin. If you have a very aggressive meta, very aggro-based, heavy creature-based meta, I think it's certainly a play. That we finished that one on turn 8. That might be the fastest on record ever. I'm not sure. Because most of the games go 13, 14, 15 turns long. But yeah, I hope you like it. Give it a shot. You can certainly, if you're going to tune anything, I think it's more tuning the removal. I think Chainer's Edict is certainly great in the deck. I give it a nod. You might go, well, Guest Verdict is better because you're mainly black. True, but the games are going long, so a lot of the times you're getting multiple uses out of Chainer's Edict rather than just, one edict effect. So you can run 2 and basically use it up to 4 times. So anyway, stay safe, be well. Other than that, not much going on in Pauper.